Okay, I'm going to walk through the basics for creating maybe what would be a small pendant or nameplate. It's an easy project, a good starter project, and we're going to finish out this video by talking about how to export that to STL and upload to Converge for those in my Converge classes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a sketch. Now that sketch could be a rectangle, circle, ellipse, or polygon. Those are the simple sketches we'll talk about. If you want a more complex shape, you might use one of these polylines, spline, or arcs on your sketching panel. For this one, I'm going to choose an ellipse. You could choose any of these shapes to start with. First thing I'm going to do is click on my grid and draw the first axis of my ellipse. So I'm going to draw that out here. And then you know for this, I can either stretch it or right there. So I'm going to do it this way. Check that. Okay, I now have a shape, whatever your shape is, whether it's ellipse, square, or maybe a polygon. I can now take that shape and extrude it. Alright, so we're going to extrude this up. Let's do a 5mm extrude. Let's see what that does. It looks real good. And here we go. So now we have just kind of this disc shape. There's other things we could do to this, but if this is a nameplate, so let's say I'm going to make a nameplate that I'm going to put onto something. At this point, I might want to do two things. Looks like my ellipse became more of a circle. But I'm going to put some text on here. So we'll go ahead and click here. We'll add some words. So maybe this is a monogram. So if it was a monogram, we might see some letters in there, different sizes, or maybe we just put a name. That's up to you. If you do a monogram, of course, you're usually going to have that center letter a little higher, and you might need to do two text placements so that you get that correct. Now, right there, I'm going to change my height. Right now I'm at 10mm. We're going to try 20 and see if that fits inside here. I think it will, right there. Mr. W. Okay. There we go. Now, the other thing I'm going to add to my nameplate is I'm going to put a second ellipse right up here and cut it out as a hole so that I can hang this up somewhere. So we're going to go back to our sketching. We're going to get an ellipse, and I'm going to click in here and put that ellipse. Let's see, let's put it right about there, and we'll drag it out and up just a tiny little bit. There. I'm going to make a nice hole. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this to an angle. The reason I clicked on this corner to turn it at an angle is when I do my next step, I'm going to want to preview this cutting in. So we're going to do the same construct extrude. And this time, instead of going 5mm, we're going to go -5. That's going to get a hole cut in there. I'm also going to do construct extrude to the name. Okay, and we're going to do a -1mm there. Alright, there we go. We have that. I'm going to take a second and hide my sketches so we can see the shape. The last thing I'm going to do on this nameplate is I'm going to create what's called a chamfer. You could also do a fillet. A chamfer is a flat beveled edge. Fillet is a rounded edge. We're going to create a chamfer all the way around this edge. We're going to do a 2mm chamfer. There we go. There's my nameplate. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do with this nameplate is I'm going to export it so I can print it. So over here, there's two things I should probably do. I should probably save this. So we're going to save it. We're going to put it into my files here. We're going to call this the Mr. W plate. Save. And then, if I want to print this, we're going to come down here and we're going to export as 3D. And we want an STL. So export as 3D STL. We're going to click OK. Fine. Click OK. Okay, so now this looks like saving again, except this time you'll see the file type down here says STL. So we're going to call this Mr. W plate blue. And there's our blue nameplate. We're going to save that. Now, if you're in Converge, get over here to our class. You're here in Converge, and you want to see how to load this up. So here we are on course. If you're going through today's slideshow, you're going to click over and you're going to go there. On this link, you have an option down here to add submission. Now these next few steps, I'm going to go quickly, but pay attention because we're going to add a file. Right here is our add file button. Then over here we have choose file. So those are the steps. Then, if you remember, I saved here, and right there it is, Mr. Wplate Blue. And we're going to go to open. There it is. Upload this file and save changes. Once you've done that, you have created, uploaded, and I'll get that and I'll print it for you.